Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back once again to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. My name's Mark Love. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a 2020 Renegade XL. And as I'm going around here, I'm going to point out some of the comparisons and some of the differences between a Renegade Icon. Now, really, they're the only two coaches in that category. And as we go around and talk about the chassis and engine, I'll explain what that means. First of all, our stock number today is 5N190459. This unit is built on a Freightliner Cascadia chassis, and it's got the DD16 engine in here that I'll talk about in a little bit. So one of the reasons I chose this unit today, last week Todd Thornton, I think on Friday, did a video on the Renegade Icon, and great video. I'd encourage you all to watch it. The Icon is the top dog of the Renegade lineup. It's also built on a Cascadia chassis with the Detroit diesel 15.8 liter engine, same as this one. But an Icon typically is going to run you somewhere in the $760,000 to $800,000 range MSRP, where you can get a lot of the same features with the same power plant and tow capacity on this XL for more like the $590,000, $595,000 range. So you can see there's a substantial savings there. And as we walk around this, I want to point out a little bit of the differences and why I consider this a value coach. Now you might laugh and say, how can $590,000 be considered a value? Well, the same way, let's say you're looking for a new car and you go look at a brand new Chevy Excursion. You can get that car for probably $70,000. But you can get a Cadillac Escalade with the same chassis, the same engine, for about $120,000. What's the difference? Why would you pay more? Well, a lot of it comes in the trim level, in the furniture, in the way it's appointed, inside and out. So I'm going to point that out as we go along. Now, first of all of the Renegades have a 4-color paint job, and just a beautiful paint job with a couple clear coat finishes. I think the Icon, you have your choice of 10 different colors. For the Renegade, there's only about 7, and really only 4 or 5 are the popular ones. One of the things I will point out here is the slide out mechanism. Now this is a little bit more of a traditional slide out mechanism, where on the Icon, they're a flush slide with the radius corner. So it gives it a little bit more of a sleek look, and everything that they do to make it look that way costs a lot of money. But it's the same fiberglass, the same framing, the same chassis, the same engine, same compartment doors. So again, if you want to get something that'll tow 30,000 pounds with a 600 horse, here is a choice, an alternative to that Icon that's going to save you $160,000, $180,000 possibly. They're both 45-foot coaches. There's 120 gallons of fuel on both, 150 gallons of fresh water on both, and they both have dual drive axles. So your tag axle here is also a drive axle, same as on the Icon. As we come around back, look at the cap here. This is a really nice molded fiberglass cap that wraps around. It makes for, how do they put it, a more slippery, cap here. It cuts through the air better. It'll get you a little bit better fuel mileage. And this is a nice looking cap. But the one on the Icon, that cap's probably going to cost in the neighborhood of $10,000 more on the front and rear because of the way they do it. The LED lights, the lines on it, the cut on it. It's more like the Jetsons, where this is a little bit more traditional. Again, same function, same features, just a different look on it that's more expensive, as you would expect on an Icon. As we look back here, you can see this is actually a 40,000 pound hitch, But the ball and the insert that comes with it is rated at 30,000 pounds. This has a combined weight of 80,000 pounds total. So that means if you were to drive up on a scale with the RV and your trailer, you could be up to 80,000 pounds. Also, you'll notice if you're pulling, let's say, a stacker trailer and you've got some air brakes, you can hook them up right here. You can see our rating here, actually 40,000 pounds on the hitch, 6,000 pound tongue weight. And then over here, we have your power source for your trailer. We also have a hookup for the Voyager system, which is your camera system. And if you look up here, you can see the camera, which is going to shoot down in this area, let you know what's behind it. But maybe you're pulling a 32-foot stacker trailer behind it, and you want to see what's behind that. That's where that Voyager system comes in handy. You can plug in a second camera on the back of that trailer and see what's out there. Again, you know, this has got the brake light on top, your backup lights here. On the Icon, it's going to be a little fancier. They have a few more LED lights, a little different lines on it, but both of them, you know, very nice looking front and rear cabs. Let's walk back up this side here. First of all, get a shot of this awning. It's a 32 foot, it's a full length awning. It does have a string of LED lights in there, and it is motion censored, so if the wind starts to pick up, it's going to close by itself. Moving through the compartments here, this first one, just a storage compartment. You can see we've got our vacuum controls. That's our vacuum system. The nice thing about this is you can bring it outside and clean out your compartments or anything you want out here. This compartment here again is just storage. They do provide a few extra tiles for you. You do have a air hose for airing up your tires. You have an onboard compressor, of course. Those are slide room lockouts. They're not really used a lot, but they're here if you want to lock those slide outs when you're traveling so they won't be jiggling around or coming out as much. Here we have just an area light. It's great for when you're hooking up, or maybe at night you're just sitting out here at your campsite and want a little extra light. As we move up here, let's talk about the door a little bit. Again, a very heavy-duty lighted grab handle with keyless entry, and Renegade does a great job on their screen door here. And I didn't, there we go. So keep the bugs out. You've got the steel guard down there. Hopefully you don't have a dog putting his nose through it. A nice radius wrap up on top. Just a real good looking door. Also, I'll point out we have the frameless windows, deep tint, dual pane frameless windows. Really nice look to that. You get an outside TV here. This is a nice 32-inch Samsung TV with a sound bar. You can see even with the sun shining pretty harshly today, you've got a good view of your TV. Up in this compartment, we have our Dometic refrigerator freezer and a little extra storage space. That's always a nice feature, so when you're out here under your awning, you can put your drinks in there, or, you know, keep your frozen steaks until you're ready to grill them out. Another thing, look at these compartment doors. These are one of the best compartment doors in the business. Dual latches, heavy-duty steel compartment door, and it doesn't take a lot of pressure to get those to lock. Up here we have our AquaHot 400. This is your hydronic heating system. It has both an electric and a diesel element in it. Now in your Icon, you're going to get the AquaHot 600. So, you know, a little more BTUs. I guess if you're taking it up to Alaska in the winter, it might be nice to have that extra heat when you're out in the cold. But this is a great system. It provides your hot water, pretty much on-demand hot water, your furnace heat, engine preheat, things like that. And then up here in this front compartment, again, a nice storage area. You can see they do duct heat down there. The module here is for your solar charger. You do have some fuses back behind there. And off to the left, we have our inverter, and that is a 2800 watt inverter. Very easy to access. And look at the way they finished the inside. Very durable. They're not going to scratch up. You know, it's easy to clean. If you want to hose them out, you could do that. Okay, what we have here, your Bendex system, this is part of your Onguard collision system and your lane assist and so forth. Basically, it's looking out this way. If, say, a motorcycle pulls up beside you, you might not see it, but it's going to give you a warning inside that something is here. You have one on each side, also on the front. It's all part of the safety enhancements with your cruise control warnings, your lane assist if you're going out of your lane when somebody pulls up beside you. Just a real nice system when you're driving. I wanted to move up here and talk about the engine a little bit. Again, I pointed out this is the DD, they call it Detroit Diesel 16. It's actually a 15.8 liter engine, and I like the way they put your hood clips in here out of the way. Most of them you'll see up on the hood, so makes for a very slick look. And it takes me a little bit to get this open, but let me get it here. So here we have it. This is the 15.8 liter, 1,850 foot-pounds of torque, Detroit Diesel 16 they call it. Actually, this is the largest power plant that you can put in this chassis. There's no other Super C on the market today that can surpass the torque and the horsepower of this engine right here. You can see, you know, it's convenient to reach your fluids, your air dryer here. On the other side, you have your oil and your coolant, windshield washer fluids. Anything you might want to do to it, you do right here. And that's what's nice about these front-end haulers, we call them, as compared to a diesel pusher, where the engine's in the back and a little bit harder to get to. Now, this engine actually was designed for the trucking industry. And anybody that's involved in trucking that might be looking for a used, semi, you'll see these engines with maybe 300, 400,000 miles, and that's not considered high mileage at all. In fact, many of them might have 800,000 to 1 million miles on them, and that's not really excessive. So these were made to be driven over the road, long haul, hauling heavy loads. I think the oil change interval on these is something like 25,000 miles. So you're probably going to get bored and want to change your oil or feel like it's been a couple of years and you need to long before it's due for an oil change. So again, the 600 horse Detroit Diesel, 1,850 foot-pounds of torque, Cascadia chassis. You can see the heavy springs and shocks, exactly the same as you're going to get on an Icon. The only other product in the market that may come close or have the ability to be similar would be a Renegade Classic, which you can get anywhere from a 500 to a 600 horse. The same with these XLs. But when we put this power plant in this chassis, it is the heaviest duty chassis with the biggest engine. It's overbuilt. And I can't emphasize that enough. Long after I'm gone and maybe your kids are gone, this is still going to be running down the road. And another thing, you saw how I kind of had to tug on this to get it open. It won't slam down on you. It has struts, so it shuts nice and soft. Great feature. Let's go around the other side. Oh, while we're here, you can see your Onguard system. And again, part of your collision mitigation system. You're watching things out here. Up on the window, you see we have another one that's kind of monitoring if you're in a cruise control and you start coming up on a car too close, it's going to give you a warning. It's got your side camera systems on each side. And then you do have dual 75-gallon fuel tanks, and they're joined together, so 60-gallon fuel tanks, so 120 total. And this is your DEF tank, probably 12 or 13 gallons on the DEF. Another thing about this, when I'm getting in it, I almost need a step ladder, but they give you some nice steps that grip, a good heavy-duty grab handle, so it does make it easy to pull yourself up in this. And then also over here, you notice there's a plug. That's for your engine preheat. All right, let's move back. This is our battery compartment. Your house batteries are 4 8D batteries. That's a lot of power right there. These two up here are your chassis starting batteries. Very few companies use the 8D batteries for the house, so a lot of power there. Back here we just have another storage compartment. This one is actually, what you're seeing there is your black tank pipe, you know, from your holding tank switcher up in this area. But so not really a lot of storage, but this is a nice compartment. They duct heat down there. You've got great cold weather potential. When you are going to drain, this is where you hook up. You've got a couple places you can run your drain hose down through. And then here, this is our water compartment. So your black and gray dumps, you have your black tank flush there. You can bring in a cable outlet. Tank fill, you can run off city water or you can power fill it. You do have a nice little hose here you can bring out, hook up and, you know, hose down your motorcycle or the dogs or whatever it is. Place to store a sewage hose there. And then one more thing is you have a power rewind here on your water. And those are nice. You don't have to roll them up. They get you messy. It's just so much easier with the power rewind. Also, you have a whole house water filter right here. Moving back again, another docking light they call them. Those are always nice to have. This is your generator. It's a 12.5 Awning quiet diesel. It is running right now, so it'll be a little bit cooler when we do step inside, but I don't know if you can hear that over my mic, but it's not very loud at all, and I'm standing right here next to it. And this last one, again, with your power rewind. I like the fact Renegade gives you the 30 to 50 adapter there. This is your transfer switch with a surge protector on it. Again, they make it, you know, simple to get to. It's just a great package. What we've got here, this is your diesel exhaust, or excuse me, your generator exhaust. Then you have your aqua hot and your engine exhaust over on the driver's side. Well, let's go ahead and step inside and I'll show you the floor plan. I left these slides closed, number one, because it's easier to show the compartments, but I wanted you to see what it looks like with it closed up, how you would travel. As you can see, there's plenty of room to get through from the cab area to the bathroom. As you walk in, right here is your battery disconnect. I have my entry step, which I've shut off. and an E-start if you need it, you know, some power in an emergency. And as I come up the stair, right here is my main Firefly panel, and I'm going to go ahead and open these. Right now I'm opening the bedroom slides. You can see this one they call the closet slide, but it's got your bathroom and your sink, your closet in the bedroom. It really opens up to a nice space. People ask sometimes about the refrigerator being in a slide. And back in the days when everything was a propane refrigerator, that maybe got to be a little bit more of an issue. These are residential refrigerators that run off your batteries and inverters. There's really no problem with it. It's 18 cubic feet, so you get a much bigger refrigerator nowadays with the residential. And then finally our kitchen slide. And you see it's a very smooth, quiet slide out mechanism. Another thing I want to point out that is sort of a difference between the Icon and the XL model, you saw how our slides on this, they overlap the sidewall, where the Icon has flush slides. Actually, with those flush slides, you lose about 3 inches on both sides. So the distance from your interior wall here to your interior wall here is about 6 inches more on the XL. Now, this is a beautiful interior. It's hard to deny that Renegade does a great job as a company with their interiors, their high polished tile, solid surface countertops and backsplashes. This happens to have flex steel furniture since it's a 2020. The Icon's going to have Villa. Now, the difference between a Villa furniture package and a flex steel, it's about 2.5 times more expensive. That might be 25 or 30,000 more in the Icon to get the Villa furniture. And I've sat on them both. Neither are uncomfortable. Sure, you got to give the nod to the Villa for being a little bit more plush. But when you consider, you know, how much you save when you're getting an XL with basically the same tow capacity, the same features, even some of the same floor plans, again, that's why I consider this a real value coach. And another thing, I was talking to my rep the other day, and he wanted to point out, Renegade as a company, their warranty, cost of warranty claims is less than 0.5%. It's a testament as to how well these are built. An average company, probably 3 to 4% of their cost is warranty claims. So one thing about Renegade, this is all they do is a Super Cs. They don't make Class A diesel pushers. They don't make travel trailers. They only make these, and they do it right. It's a beautiful interior. This has got the high gloss finish with it. All of the cabinets, I thought I shut that off. All of the cabinets are soft close drawers, and I really like this feature. You get a second layer. Oops. I pushed that in a little far, but it'll come out when I do it. Again, soft close drawers on all of them. So plenty of storage. And I don't know if you can get a shot here, but you see the nice dovetails there. It really is quality construction. This one has the true induction cook surface. Again, this runs off those 8D batteries and your inverter. You get a nice, large convection microwave oven. A dual sink here, and it's a stainless steel undermount sink. with the residential style sprayer there. Yes, all electric throughout this coach. Little tray there for, you know, scrubbers or whatever when you're doing dishes. And nice finished cabinets. Even the back of these are nicely finished. You have a large pull-out pantry here. Oops. And then down here is actually your fuses and breakers. And then again, these are your resettable fuse panel, and everything is labeled. You can see what they are. This particular floor plan has two couches. One is a full pull-out hide-a-bed. You have a televator back here. Let me pop that up. Sure that doesn't happen again. Up front here you have some storage. This is where you'd put your satellite receivers and so forth. You can see it comes equipped with the Onguard Traveler. Little storage area up here. This is your control for your heat, your in-floor heat. Then you have your inverter controls here. And look at these hinges. Very nice, heavy duty. They stay up on their own, and they're all hidden hardware. You don't see the hinges or the latches. Same with over here, a little more storage area. And again, the finished cabinets all the way back. You don't find that in a lot of systems. Okay, I'm going to sit down, but before I do, I am going to point out your equalizer system. This is your hydraulic levelers, and there's actually an app. So you can level this from your phone if you're outside. I'm not going to demonstrate that now, but Grant did a good demonstration on that app on a Renegade Verona LE, so you might want to watch that. One thing that, you know, these Renegades have, it's an air ride rear, but it's shock and leaf spring front, like a truck, but you have a nice air ride seat that you can pump up or pump down. I've got air in my compressor. So you can find, you know, just the right spot for you. It's a comfortable seat, so when you do hit some bumps, you know, it doesn't jiggle you too much. I'll go ahead and fire this up, and you'll hear the Onguard system. That buzzing on each sound is your Onguard sensors. Those are the ones that are going to tell you if somebody's coming up beside you. You can see we have our collision mitigation system here. You can scroll through the mode. You do have a lane alert here, and if you want, you can shut that off. Sometimes that little signal they give you, you get tired of listening to it. Your mirror heat, you have utility lamps on the outside. This is just for your heater, air conditioner. Over on this side, we do have you know, your air suspension. It's on auto now. It's going to air up the rear, but if I wanted to dump that, I could dump that right here. You also have automatic traction control that you can turn on and off, and your tag axles. You can engage them, you know, lock them together so both of those axles become drive axles. It's your trailer brake here, and your switch if you do have a trailer camera. Your monitor if you want to scroll through your music, you know, your navigation. You do have Rand McNally navigation here. Scroll through your camera monitors. You do have a control for the trailer brake. Those will all have air brakes if you're pulling anything larger. This is for the coach itself. You know, it's actually a pretty simple dash. You've got your engine brake control here. You also have it right here. It is a 3-speed engine brake. You turn it on and off here. Cruise control and everything right here. So a very comfortable cockpit. And then you can, of course, tilt and telescope your wheel wherever you want it. And one final thing, you have a brake controller already built in down here. So again, I'm not going to go through all of your navigation and everything. There are other videos that show you that, but I will say these are kind of fun to drive. You feel like you're in a big truck, but they handle nice. They have comfortable seats, even though it's flex steel instead of Villa. This is a real plush ultra leather seat. Let's move on back over on the driver's side. Again, I pointed out you have a hide-a-bed couch here, big enough for 2 adults. You've got some storage drawers here, and like all of them, they are soft close. Storage underneath and under the table. Even their window valances are just really high end all the way around. You have MCD shades, and these, the day one is a manual, the screen. This is on a remote, so you have to find the remote control. You can lower all those. This is your 18 cubic foot Samsung residential refrigerator, and it does have the ice maker with it. And a nice little latch, so when you're going down the road, things don't come open if you hit a big bump. Let's move back into the bedroom and bathroom area. First of all, you've got a couple of doors that, you know, my fingers just have a hard time reaching that. But these are solid doors, so it gives you a little privacy in the bathroom. You also have one back here in the bedroom. This is a mid-bath, just a single bathroom with a double sink, again with the solid surface countertops. And then you do have a rather large shower in there. That is a porcelain toilet also. Come back here, and of course you have your controls for your bathroom lights, your bedroom lights, but you also have a master on and off switch for your lights, so you don't have to go up front to turn off all the lights. You also have controls up under here. So when you're laying down, you can start and stop the generator, you can turn on your reading lights. Stackable washers and dryer. And I think this is a 40-inch TV in here, again with a lot of nice storage, soft closed drawers, and if you like, you can actually take these shelves out to get a little more storage for your clothes that you're going to hang up. And then in here, a nice cedar lined closet. And a couple of folding chairs. Your table does extend, so you've got nice nice seating for everybody. Why that's not shutting off? Let me see, what else do we have here? Again, you have your new heat. This will control the in-floor heat. You can turn your fans on, your overhead fantastic fans. You also can move the slide out, your bed slide in and out here. Like I said, it's a Firefly system, so you've got these control panels, but a couple of main ones that you can control all of it. auto gen start, climate, and so forth. Let me see. Oh, look at the ceiling lighting. Very high end. And I think really that's most of the stuff I wanted to cover. Again, I wanted to point out why somebody that's looking to get a hauler that can haul a heavy load but not want to spend the money for an Icon, this is a great option. You've got the big floor plans, 4 slides, 45 feet, 150 gallons of fresh water, 120 gallons of fuel, the DD16, 1,850 foot-pounds of torque. And again, I really like Renegade's quality, their attention to detail, the fact that they have about the lowest warranty claim in the industry. It's really worth looking into. Once again, my name's Mark Love. Here's my contact info. Feel free to call or email me if you have any questions on this unit or any of our units. And again, if you want to watch the Icon video, I think last Friday Todd Thornton did it, and it'll point out some of the differences, some of the things you get when you want to spend that $160,000, $70,000 more. So once again, thanks for tuning in, and like always, happy trails, my friend.